Okay, to address my little video yesterday, I found out I have this wonderful stomach virus that's going around that basically washes you out. So I'm dealing with that. I'm supposed to take Boots to get her shot, but her bed's 40 minutes away, and I don't think I can be 40 minutes away from a fucking toilet at this point. So I gotta put that off. But addressing what happened, what I said yesterday, I read the comments. All of a sudden, I did a land office business last night in books and magazines, and thank you very much. Whoever ordered stuff, it's already in the mail, because that's how I work. I wasn't posting that video to light a fire under anyone's ass to buy stuff. It's sort of like, let me address a couple things. Number one, someone said they ought to set up a GoFundMe. I could do that myself, but the simple reason is I don't want charity, okay? I want to earn. That's why I do this shit. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I've never not worked. And for me to sit here and do nothing would basically kill me. So I want to earn. That's why I publish the magazine. That's why I write the books. Plus, I used to enjoy it. Right about now, I echo the sentiments of my partner in the magazine. We're just tired of the apathy and, the if you don't belong to one convention bunch, we're not talking to you, anything like that. That's another whole story. But anyway, I know a lot of people look forward to this, and I'm not trying to take it away from you. What I'm simply saying is, I said this yesterday, that 2,000 people watch this channel, and it seemed to me that aside from maybe 50 or so people, nobody wants to spend a nickel. Last night disproved that, but I felt I shouldn't have had to do that. I mean, me and the boys with the magazine were trying to do something. And, going back when we had the other thing going on, things were misplaced, things got lost, things got messed up. And we didn't want that to happen. But now I'm going to try to put out one more issue. I'm not going to say that's going to end it because I'm not sure, but the whole thing is I'm not knocking anybody I've dealt with, but I heavily relied on other people who, had lives. And life takes over, where basically I could sit here and hammer out a bunch of shit every fucking day. Then it becomes repetitious. And if the magazine was offered more than twice a year, it'd be a dead issue because we'd be covering shit that we didn't want to cover. I try to cover shit that nobody covers. So I vastly appreciate what everyone did last night in, helping me out here and things like that. That's all I need. I'm not looking for the pat on the back. I'm not looking for the fucking Rondo Award. I'm not looking for any of this shit. Just, a little respect for what I'm doing and support what me and other guys are doing. Because, like I said with the magazine, it ain't only me. So that's the thing there. And like I said, I appreciate that somebody wanted to set up a GoFundMe. I don't have to do that yet. I've only done that once in my life, and that's when Boots had two bad rear legs, and it was going to cost $12,000 to have them repaired. So that's the only time I did a GoFundMe. I don't like to sit here and beg. I'm not a beggar. I could go down in the corner with a fucking squeegee and a bucket and wash windshields. But that's not the point. So I'm going to see what happens with this. I'm going to try to keep it going. There was something else put up there. A quitter never wins and a winner never quits. I can quit anytime I want. I don't owe nobody on this planet a dime. That was a ridiculous statement. I hate to say it. I've been doing this since 1990. And, it's had its ups and downs, sometimes a lot more downs than ups. But I hung in there despite a lot of shit that happened. So let me see where this goes. That's all I can say. Like I said, I appreciate, what everybody was said. I appreciate the fact that some people really look forward to this thing every week. And I also appreciate the fact that this thing got a lot of people through the pandemic. So let me ponder on this and see what I'm going to do. But, let's do a Summer of Sleaze thing, being that we're sitting here and everything got fucked up, Monday. So let's go across 110th Street from 1972. Seems that a bunch of guys dressed as cops decide to hit a payroll drop that is run by both the Italian mob and the black mob. And there's $300K on the table. And one of the guys is a little trigger happy when one of the guys decides to reach for a discarded weapon and basically wipes out the Italian mob and the black mob there. So they take off with $300K. And of course, nobody's really happy about this. So we have Anthony Quinn in the lead as this rough Italian detective. And Anthony Quinn was one of the executive producers, and it seemed like they were sort of approaching John Wayne to do this because John Wayne had to drop the cowboy stuff because Clint Eastwood did and had to be a detective thing. After watching Brannigan and McHugh, they did good not to get him in there. So Anthony Quinn took the lead as a mean Italian cop. Tony Franciosa is this Italian gangster set out to get the money back, mainly because he's a fuck-up. And the black guys sort of remind him of what a fuck-up he is. Basically, he has to be held back from punching people out. So the three robbers, Paul Benjamin, Antonio Fargas, and one guy, I can't remember who the hell it is, have this money split between them, $100K apiece. Yaphet Kotto is the new police lieutenant that is assigned to the case. Him and the Anthony Quinn character clash viciously because Quinn is old school and believes in smacking the shit out of people and slamming people against the walls and shit, and this is not what Yaphet wants. But in the meantime, Tony captures Antonio Fargas's character, who was behaving like Huggy, sitting there with a mound of blow, a shitload of money, and a bunch of hookers. Now, this is where it gets a little weird because I've seen the entire movie back in the day, but I just had to rewatch it on YouTube. Well, they sort of torture and basically crucify and castrate Antonio. But that's done off camera in this thing because I don't think they actually showed what they were doing. They did show a little bit of shit what's going on with him all bloody. But then the scene shifts to him in an ambulance with Anthony Quinn standing over him telling, who did this to you, who did this to you? He dies. They get the other guy and basically get the information about where the Paul Benjamin character is hiding and then toss him off a roof. Paul Benjamin is hiding up with his girlfriend, and Paul has a medical condition. And of course they find him, they start shooting, his girlfriend catches a stray slug which puts him on the fucking rampage. He basically wipes out Tony Franciosa and his mob and is going to keep on going, wiping out the cops and anybody else. In the meantime, he tosses his bag, which has the $100K in it, to a mob down the street. Eventually he gets shot and Anthony Quinn is standing there when a black sniper takes him out. End of movie. There was a few of these floating around. There was a whole demographic about, black gangsters knocking heads with the Italian mob. It was in a few other blaxploitation movies. The thing was, there was some real life drama going on around 42nd Street and Times Square at the time because the black mob was trying to infiltrate the massage parlor racket and opened up a couple of parlors. And they would, basically drop their price $1 under what everybody else was charging, which led to them being firebombed in the middle of the night. Martin Hodas got blamed for that. But yeah, there were things going on, and these things were played up in the movies because they always had the evil Italian mafia against the brothers and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. Anthony Quinn is of Mexican heritage. He's another guy who can play anything. He can play Mexican bandits, he can play Italian mobsters, he can play tough Italian cops. He even did a spaghetti western, and I don't know if you can find this anywhere, but he co-starred with Franco Nero in a spaghetti western called Deaf Smith and Johnny Ears. Or Deaf Smith and Johnny Ears. It may be bouncing around on YouTube for all I know. I saw it way back in the day on the Western Channel when they had a spaghetti western week. Really good movie. I would suggest you seek out a physical copy because it looks like Tubi, I guess the rumors are true. Somebody in Tubi is slashing shit they don't want people to see. So I definitely check it out. So that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. Again, appreciate all the sales from last night, and let's keep this going. I mean, buy it if you like it. I want you to like the shit. I want you to enjoy the shit. Anybody can write a pile of shit and try to send it out for $30, but I spent 15 years putting this fucking thing together, as I did the first book. And like I said, where's the book? Right here. Here's the book. One thing I didn't do in the first book was put a bunch of illustrations in, which I did here, which are scattered through the whole book. So if you're a fan of, the horror conventions like Chiller Theater, there's a lot about there in there. There's a lot about my time on the indie wrestling scene. There's just a lot of shit in there. So, like I said, I would rather have somebody buy this and like it and tell people they like it and spread the word around, which a lot of people are doing. Some guy just emailed me and he says, dude, I was laughing my ass off at some of this shit in there. Some of it's pretty funny. So, again, my thanks. I'm going to ponder this until the end of the month. I'm going to keep this thing going the way I had with the Summer of Sleaze right now. So again, thanks for subscribing, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see what happens. So I'll catch you on the flip side.